Hi everyone, it's Gina with Peonies of America. I hope everyone's doing well. Well, I have a smile on my face because I'm really excited to show you the cutting field, the above ground boxes, and the older peonies that I have. They are so close to opening up. A lot of color showing on the blooms and the buds, and I also have some that opened up. So today we're going to take a tour of a pre-blooming, kind of a pre-blooming party actually, so because it's kind of exciting. So let's go look at them. Let's get started. I'm going to go on the 4 above ground boxes, and since this is a pre-blooming tour, I've got to have a bloom, right? Pretty close to one anyway, but we've got lots of colors to show. This is a 5-year coral charm peony plant, and it is just about to burst open right there. There's some color showing, and not much more. There's another big bloom on that plant fixing to come open. The first above ground box is pretty quiet. I've got a lot of pretty green foliage going. There's one little bloom, but not a lot of big blooms in here. I see some, and those must be like a mid-late variety because they are not anywhere close to blooming. But the bud is there. It is going to have a flower. These are a little bit larger, but not showing any color. And these have a beautiful foliage, but no blooms at all. That one, this one here has several blooms. And over here in my second above ground box, the middle one is doing quite well. This is the pink Hawaiian coral, and I do have color. Lots of color showing on the pink Hawaiian coral. And the beautiful pink flowers again are the anemones, and I will be telling you a little bit more about those. I left them uncut so you could see how gorgeous they were. And here is another pink Hawaiian coral, and that is blooming. By tomorrow it will be open. The anemones are absolutely stunning. And here is another pink Hawaiian coral. Got a little friend on it over there. And it is definitely going to be open by tomorrow. And many of these plants have lots of blooms on them. And then over here in the first above ground box, my bells of Ireland are going nuts, but the anemones again are just absolutely a show. And they made it through that -20 below zero freeze for 7 days. They made it, the ranunculus did not. But the blooms here are also just really going to town. Over here it's a different variety. Cannot wait to see what the variety is. But anyway, we're going to go take a look at the some other peony plants and some older plants and the cutting garden. The ones here, the 4 boxes that I have, those are all Sarah Bernhardt plants. They are a mid to mid-late blooming plant here for me in grow zone 7B, and they are about where they should be. I've got a few small buds coming up. A lot of these plants are first year. Well, they're all first year, but beautiful foliage and no blooms. And that's normal. Beautiful foliage, no buds or blooms. They were all planted the same. Some come up and bloom first year, and many do not. I would say not even half of these are going to even have a flower on them this year, which is normal. And my bachelor buttons. Okay, let's go look at some other ones. So I'm walking out to my older peony plants, and this is where the ranunculus, I have them back here in the back. And look at that show. I just really wanted you to see. I have kind of let the ranunculus go, but you can see a lot of them have died back. I've cut out a lot. The plants you cut until there's no blooms left in a ranunculus. I still have some that have some buds on them. So hopefully I can get one more really good cut with the peony plants, with the coral charms. And look at the anemones there. Look at those. What a really fabulous show that is. These are the older peony plants that I have. These are 5-year-old. This is a Sarah Bernhardt, and it is covered in buds. So it's going to be a really great bloomer for me this year. This one here is a little bit farther along, but I believe this is a Shirley Temple that got in the wrong bed that year for me. And these are all the Sarah Bernhardts. And then these are Sarah Bernhardts here. And some will be moved this year because I am going to put more ranunculus in a couple of the beds. So more than likely, these 5-year-old plants, Sarah Bernhardt's, will be moved. Some of them will bloom and some won't. So I believe the ones that will not bloom are the ones that I'll lift and move this year. They're either too deep or just getting too much shade. And then over here, back here are my 5-year-old Mother's Choice plants. And they're covered in buds. Really beautiful plants. These will really put on a beautiful show. This one here has just got them all over, but they all do. They're all just really packed with them. Some beautiful, very, very large blooms on the Mother's Choice. Kind of, they bloom a cream, a blush, light blush, and the buds the blooms are just huge. And the fragrance is wonderful on the Mother's Choice also. So these are my older plants. And now let's take a look in the cutting field. It's the first year. And these here are the peonies that I had in with the ranunculus. Next year, my timing is going to be a little bit different on the ranunculus because I would like them both to bloom at the same time. Although my peony plants this year are 2 weeks farther behind than they ever have been. Look at those pink ranunculus that just happened to get. I'm glad I did have a couple different colors that got in here, some of the pink, but I'm glad they got in because it really made this cutting garden just absolutely stunning. Cutting garden. And I like you to see the, when I put this video together, if the sun is too bright, I will come out in the evening and redo this. But here in this above ground box are the Patio peonies. And I am getting some color, some good color. They're still really hard. Still a few days on the Patio peonies. And I do see color out there. I do see color. And this is kind of just a pre-walkthrough of all the, oh, here's one that is blooming. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at the blush on that. I hope you guys can see that. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the size of these. They're huge. But the pink in that is definitely not a Mother's Choice. It's too pink. It could be a Dr. Alexandra Fleming peony right there. I knew once I saw the blooms I would know. And after seeing that one, there's a lot of pink on it. Oh, and the size of this one just keeps growing and growing. This is really going to be a very, very large, huge bloom on this plant. Usually on a first year plant, when they do have their first bloom, it is quite large. And then the years that follow, they're not quite that just massive. But this one is massive. And again, these are first year herbaceous peony plants, 2021. I planted these last November and December. And on these also, I'm leaving the side buds on also. I'm just letting them grow naturally. I am watering these quite often. 2 times a week I'm giving them a very heavy soaking. We've had high winds, which really dries out my dirt, because you can see here the dirt. And I just watered these a day and a half ago, and it's already, the wind, there's a little moisture left in that, but the winds have really dried, will really dry these out. So I'm really trying to keep them moist, and there it is, the first bloom of 2021. And it is an absolutely gorgeous coral charm. And it really bloomed nicely. Absolutely beautiful. First bloom of 2021. And I'll just do a quick walkthrough of the rest of the garden, and you can kind of see the stems. And I'll stop at some of them that really show a lot of color. This one here looks like it's fixing to open also. The side buds are really bursting out, but it's still very firm. But with this warm, sunny weather, they will really try to open up. And you'll find yours, the warmer the weather gets, the quicker they will warm up. This one here had color when I left. It's still, oh, it's a little softer, but it's not, it hasn't bloomed. So the coral charm down there was the first to bloom, as I figured it would be. And here's just another kind of an overview. Oh, this one's going to be huge. Wow, look at the size of that. Absolutely beautiful. I believe that is a Paul M. Wild. And there you have it. The pre-tour, the pre-blooming tour of 2021 at Peonies of America.